my participants, my well-wishers, and those who regularly participate in my class. Just before WBCS preliminary exam, miscellaneous, PSC clerkship, Gram Panchayat, in all these examinations, English is a must. So I am trying my best to give you some tips on how to tackle 20 or 25 marks in English. Okay? All these are purely government service, and I think that if you follow this live streaming class, you will be able to identify the errors and correct the errors in your examination. All these examinations are knocking at your door. Now, welcome to my channel and Easy Step to English Grammar, and I hope that all of you who are interested in cracking all these exams are being advised to join, to participate. Okay? Now, I should not make my introduction lengthy because I am already late. But I am always late. When time permits, I appear before you. Whatever, okay, just wait a bit, I am appearing again, you will have to wait for 2 or 3 minutes. I am taking a phone call only, nothing else. Okay? Nothing else. I am taking a phone call. And I will just wait a bit. Wait a bit. Just wait a bit. I will start. হ্যাঁ এই ক্রেডিট হলো দেখলাম আমি কত 25। আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, আমি এখনও খুলতে পারিনি, আমি ওই ইয়েতে আছি, পরে আমি দেখে নেবো ওখানে। ওই যে আমি অনলাইনে লাইভ স্ট্রিমিংয়ে আছি না। হ্যাঁ আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, কাল সকালবেলা আমি ওকে করে দেবো, বা রাতেই ওকে করে রেখে দেবো। ওকে, তবে ক্রেডিট হয়েছে, আমি এখানে উঠেছে, আমি দেখলাম। ওকে, just follow me. When you are facing the question on correct the errors, mute. Okay. When you are facing the correct the errors, you will have to see, you will have to first go through parts of speech very meticulously. Parts of speech. For example, parts of speech. And parts of speech is the most vulnerable thing in হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে ওকে হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ থ্যাংক ইউ First of all, in the case of parts of speech, I mean while on the call, mute the stream. Oh, thank you. Oh, nothing else. Yeah, just ordinary talk. My son is calling me from Kolkata. Okay. However, you may be given, for example, days after days, I have been spending a lot of money for my treatment. Days after days. Suppose days after days has been underlined. The phrase has been underlined. But it is grammatically incorrect. And the common error is day after day I am spending a lot of money for my treatment. Okay? For example, I have been teaching you the same topic months after months. No, it is not correct. The correct expression is month after month. Okay? Another example. For example, years after years, we have been following the same syllabus. No, year after year. Year after year. So this is the common error. And this common error is rectified by day after day, month after month, year after year. Okay? This is the common error. Now, there are some nouns which end with s or es. And in the case of nominal compound, that is noun plus noun. In the case of nominal compound, the first noun should be plural number. Okay? Should be plural number. For example, goods train. You know that goods is a word which means materials, many things loaded in a lorry or a train, etc. So, it is goods train, not good trains. Remember it. And in your WBCS preliminary examination, this type of error can appear before you. Another example. For example, last year I met my I met my mother-in-laws. Mother-in-laws. But the peculiarity is that it is mothers-in-law. Mothers-in-law. When you use plural number, mothers-in-law. In the case of collective noun, there are some nouns which can be singular and plural and depends upon its usage. Hello, my viewers, please like, comment if possible, and share too. Don't forget to subscribe. For example, the Indian Army but where are you writing from? Which town do you live in? Okay. I am also in the same town. And I will let you know in my next class. Okay? Now follow the class. For example, collective noun may be used both as singular and plural. I am dealing with just correction of errors which you may face. And these are very, very common questions. For a long time, I have been watching this fact. For example, the Indian Army ambushed the Pakistani army. Ambushed. That means attacked from the hiding position. Army is both singular and plural. The Indian Army is very powerful. Is. Okay? Indian Army is collective noun. But if you say the fire brigade personnel were dousing the fire, were dousing the fire with their utmost effort. Were personnel. Okay? Collective noun, but it is in the plural form. Personnel, Personnel, personnel. Now let us come to the jury is of the same opinion. Jury, jury. The jury is of the same opinion about the punishment of the criminal. The jury is of the same opinion about the punishment of the criminal. Again, it is in the singular form, but in the plural form, you may say, the jury were divided in their opinions. The jury were divided in their opinions or in their opinion. Both are correct. Okay? When you are using jury is singular number, but jury is also plural number when you suggest the members of the jury. The members of the jury. So, these are very common errors, and it will be very easy if you walk through a right path. Just I am suggesting some errors which are very much probable. Okay, nothing else. I am not dealing with a vast chapter. Okay. As for example, another example, for example, the crowd set the bus on fire. The crowd was creating a violence after the accident. The crowd was. And if you say the crowd were shouting much to create a violence. So it is both singular and plural. Singular and plural. Crowd. Okay. So there are some nouns which are always collective nouns, both singular and plural. Okay. Another example I am telling you. For example, the team was very strong. The team was very strong. Okay? It is singular when you use was, because it is actually subject verb agreement. The team was very strong. And if you say the team were playing very well in the field, you are also right. That means you are suggesting the players of the team were playing very well. Just I am discussing a chapter on correction. The most common corrections. First I am discussing, remember it. First I am discussing the common errors with regard to part of speech, and that is collective noun, and also nominal compound, the nouns which begin with the nouns which have s or es suffix. Okay. Now I am telling you another correction. For example, I, you and he, you and he was walking along the road. I, you and he. No. The error is, always remember 2, 3, 1. First person, second person, third person, and first person. Okay. You, he, and I. You, he, and I. This is the correction. Always remember first, second person, then third person, then first person. So you, he and I, but what should be the verb? Anybody of you comment? What should be the verb? Was or were? What should be the verb? You, he and I, okay, I will. Yes, singular noun was. You are right. And this portion will be underlined. The subject, which is at the end of the expression, will take the verb. Will take the verb. This is the grammatical rule. Okay? For example, you have been asked to fill in the gap. For example, there is dash book on your table. Naturally, when there is a noun, obviously you should use an article that is a. So there is a book on the table. Okay? And if there is an adjective before the noun, it will take a. For example, there is a beautiful pen. Beautiful is adjective, and pen is noun. So noun preceded by adjective will obviously take the article a. Okay? And where will you use the? When you will definitely suggest a thing. For example, the book you are carrying is written by Karl Marx. The book you are carrying is written by Shakespeare. Okay? So, this is the book which is specifically mentioned you are carrying. So, there is no problem in filling in the blank with an article. And you know that before the rivers, before the United Kingdom, etc., USA, all these cases, there is the. The USA, the UK, the Punjab, that means there are 5 rivers, the Punjab, the Deccan, etc. So why do you fear, why are you scared in cracking WBCS preliminary examination? And you will score 20 or 25, whatever the marks is allotted, you will be able to score. There will be no problem. Okay. Now, the last but not least, I advise you to go through the 10th chapter very meticulously and attentively. Okay. very meticulously and attentively. 25 allotted to English. Yes, 25. So, you are directed to go through the tense, because many of us think that tense is a very easy chapter, but no, it is the most difficult chapter. For example, what is the difference between I am going to Puri tonight, I shall go to Puri tonight, and the correction will be I am going to Puri. No, I go to Puri tonight, not I am going. When the distance or the gap is very short, use present indefinite tense. Another is I am going to Puri the next week. The next week. Okay? So, what is the problem? The next week. I shall go to Puri, and there is no mention of time, it is future tense. So, in the future tense, you can use both present indefinite tense and present continuous tense. Okay? So, the basic grammar must be learned by heart by you. Okay? For example, in the case of present perfect continuous tense, you have been asked, I was reading the novel since 10 o'clock in the morning. So, what should be the construction? I have been, because it is present perfect continuous tense. And the time period is fixed. So, since it has been raining for about 2 hours, okay, it must be for. Thus, I am discussing tense. In the case of tense, you may face some difficulties in correcting the errors. So go through the tense first. First, parts of speech, I am giving you some tips. First, parts of speech, then voice change, then narration change, then tense, then clause, okay, and in this way you will be able to capture English grammar very fast. And I have already given you some homophones or homonyms which is in the playlist live. Try to follow and like, comment, share and subscribe please. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay blessed and crack your examination.